Hello and welcome to Solidworks Station. My name's Stuart, and in today's tutorial we've got another design challenge for you. We're looking at making this T-bar 2mm Allen key. There's going to be some areas here that you're going to be familiar with, however there are going to be some new areas which we're going to have a little look at. So, best of luck and let's get started. Okay, so we're in SolidWorks 2019. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the front plane and normal to. We're then going to go into the sketch tab and we're going to create a sketch. We're going to go to line and we're going to create a midpoint line from the origin and just move the mouse across. Press the escape key, click on the line, and let's turn this line to a construction line and green tick. Let's go up to smart dimension and give this a smart dimension of 80mm. Okay, the next thing that we need to do is create some reference geometry. We need to create some new planes. So let's exit this sketch, and under reference geometry notice we've got plane. We're going to create some planes. So click on right plane, go up to reference geometry and select plane. This is going to create a new plane now, however it's creating it 10mm in this direction. We want it to be 40mm. Okay, and we're going to select the green tick. Right click now on plane 13. Yours might say something differently. Okay, different to this. Mine says plane 13. Just right click on that and rename the tree item. Let's call this T-bar plane 1. Okay, and just press the enter key. Go back to right plane, go to under the features tab, go to reference geometry and plane. This time set the distance at 0, and this will create a new plane directly over our right plane. Green tick. This will be plane 14. Again, yours might be called something differently. Just right click, rename the tree item, and we're going to call this T-bar plane 2. Same again, click on the right plane, go to reference geometry plane. This time we're going to put 40mm into the distance, but we're going to flip offset. So we're going to click in this box here. That will flip it 40mm in the opposite direction, so in the minus X direction. Green tick. Plane 15. Again, yours might be something different to this. Right click, rename the tree item, and we're going to call this T-bar plane 3. Perfect. Okay, looking at our T-bar, this circle is going to be drawn in T-bar plane 1. This circle at the back will be drawn in T-bar plane 3. And if you can imagine a bigger circle here, this is going to be drawn in T-bar plane 2. Okay, just to start off with. So this shape here, just along the top, is what we're looking at producing. So we're going to click on T-bar plane 1 and we're going to go normal 2. We're going to create a sketch, go to circle and sketch from the origin, sketch out. Let's give this a smart dimension of 15mm. Green tick and exit the sketch. Okay, so you can see that our first circle has been drawn on T-bar plane 1. Okay, next we're going to go to T-bar plane 2. So let's click on T-bar plane 2. Let's go normal 2. Let's go to the circle and let's draw again from the origin. Draw out, smart dimension, and we're going to give this a smart dimension of 20 millimeters. And exit the sketch. Okay, our final circle is going to be over here on T-bar plane 3. So let's go to T-bar plane 3, normal 2, circle, draw our circle, smart dimension it up at 15 millimeters. And exit the sketch. So what we've got at the moment is a 15 millimeter diameter circle in plane 1, a 20 millimeter diameter circle in plane 2, and another 15 millimeter diameter circle in plane 3. The next step is we need to make a feature out of these 3 circles drawn in 3 planes. So we're going to go to features. We're now going to create a lofted boss base. So click on lofted boss base, and it's asking us for the profiles. Okay, just click in order 1, 2, left click, and 3. Okay, you can manipulate these guide curves a little bit. Okay, just by moving them around to get different profiles. However, we're going to keep all ours in the original location. Once you've done that, you're going to click on the green tick, and we can now hide T-bar plane 1, T-bar plane 2, and T-bar plane 3. To do that, just hold the control key down and just click on the planes that you want to hide. So yeah, we're going to hide them, we're not going to delete them, just hide them temporarily. Right click and click on hide. This sketch, it would be a good idea to rename this whilst we're here, and we're going to call this center line for T-bar. Okay, it's just good practice to keep things nice, neat and tidy, and keep things labelled so we know what things are. So we can hide this, so let's go up to hide. Okay, next let's have a look at our finished product. Next we've got another extrude that's going on here. It's tapered at the bottom, so I might have to look at doing a draft angle on that. And then obviously we've got the long piece of steel coming down, which forms the actual Allen key. So we need to create a new piece of reference geometry again. So this time it's going to be in the top plane. So we're going to go to top plane, reference geometry, and plane. Now we know that the biggest circle that we had in plane 2 was 20 millimeters in diameter. So if I place 10 in here and flip offset, that plane is going to sit perfectly tangential to where that circle finishes. Okay, so click on the green tick, and we're going to rename this T-bar plane 4. Right. Okay, next we're going to create this bit coming down. So let's click on T-bar plane 4 and let's go normal 2. Let's try that again. T-bar plane 4, normal 2. Okay, there we go. So we want it actually facing us, like so. Okay, we're going to go to sketch, sketch a circle. I'm going to sketch our circle onto this plane. This is going to have a smart dimension of 15, like so. Green tick. And we're going to now go to features, extrude boss base, and what we need to do here is two directions. So in the first direction, which you've got, which is in the positive Y direction, we want this to read up to next. Okay, you can see what's happening there. It's actually meeting the shape above it. Okay. The next thing we need to do is go direction 2. Click on this button here, direction 2. So it's going to do it in a new direction now, in the minus Y direction. And we want this to be 25 millimeters. So type in 25. However, we want to create a draft angle on this, so we're going to turn the draft on by clicking, left clicking, and we want a 3 degrees draft angle. So type in 3, and you can see now that that is actually angling itself in. Once you've done that, you can press on the green tick. Okay, so we've got the handle part now of our T-bar Allen key produce. We just need now to do the 2 millimeter hexagonal part that comes out of this part that we've just produced. So back into Solidworks. Let's hide T-bar plane 4. So right click on that and hide. Okay, now we're going to click on this face here. Normal 2, zoom in, sketch, polygon, 6 sides, left click and left click. Press escape and just click on one of these lines here. So just left click once, and we want to make this line here, we want to make it vertical. So click on vertical and add that relation. That'll spin the hexagon round so that this particular line we've clicked on is now vertical, and we can now smart dimension that up. So we're going to go to smart dimension, and we're going to smart dimension from this line here to this line here, and we're going to make this 2 millimeters and green tick. Okay, finally we need to extrude this. So we need to extrude this by 80 millimeters. So we're going to go close the dialog, features, extrude boss base, and extrude by 80 millimeters and green tick. We also need to put in a fillet here and some fillets on the edges here. So let's go to fillet. We're in a millimeter for our fillet parameter, and we're on the right fillet type, a constant size fillet. Just left click on the edge of this, this, and this, and green tick. There we go. Control 7 on your keyboard will give you a nice isometric view of it. And now we can go ahead and add some materials or appearances to this. So if we just go on the appearances, scenes and decals button here on the right hand side, you've got plastics, metals, painted, rubber, etc. We're going to choose plastic, medium gloss, and let's bring in this cream medium gloss plastic. Just drag that on to the body. Okay. And let's get a metal. Let's get steel. Let's go for carbon steel. And let's drag that onto this part. And okay, we just want it applied to the boss extrude. Now if we go into the DIM Expert Manager, and here the cream medium gloss plastic, just right click, edit appearance, and we can change this to red, green tick. There we go. There's our finished T-bar 2mm Allen key. Thanks very much for watching. As always, if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to type those below in the section for the comments, and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. This has been Solidworks Station. I've been Stuart. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the video and the channel, and give me a big thumbs up if you thought this was helpful. Thanks very much, and see you soon.